Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on angles extension work. In some previous videos we introduced basic examples to do with angles. This video goes a little further and introduces some calculations which are essential for more advanced work in later years. Example 1. Here is a straight line which we introduced in an earlier video, and that was called a straight angle. In this video I have another line going in that direction, or a ray. We'll just call it a line for simplicity, and it meets this line at that point. This heart here represents that angle. See this angle here made up by those two lines? That's what the heart is. This moon represents that angle there. We saw in our early work on angles that a straight angle is 180 degrees. So we can safely say that the heart, which represents this angle, plus the moon, which represents that angle, that gives us 180 degrees. And that makes sense because that is the total angle on the straight line. Example 2. What's happening here is we have the straight line again, but we've been given this angle here which is 50 degrees. Our aim is to find the value of the star. How many degrees is that star? So let's do a little bit of reading. The above diagram shows two angles that are placed on a straight line. One of them's 50 degrees, the other one's the star. We are told that one of the angles is 50 degrees, which is this one. We are asked to find the value of the red star. Now, we know from the little rule that we saw here, and from the video earlier, 50 degrees plus the star must be 180. That makes sense, because if you add this to this, that gives you the full straight line. And we know that the angle on a straight line is 180, because that's a straight angle. Therefore, the value of the star must be 180 minus 150. Sorry, minus 50. So the value of the star is 180 minus 50. Now, if you do that subtraction, that gives you 130. So the value of the star is 130 degrees. Example 3. In the above diagram we can see two angles that are placed next to each other on a straight line. One of the angles is 90 degrees, which is this one. We need to find the value of the smiley face, so we have to find that angle there. Here's the solution. The smiley face plus 90 degrees must give you 180. The smiley face plus 90 degrees equals 180, because that gives you a straight line. Therefore, the smiley face must be 180 degrees minus 90 degrees. So the smiley face is 90 degrees. In other words, those two angles are equal, because 90 plus 90 is 180. Example 4. In the above diagram we can see three angles that are placed next to each other on a straight line. This time, if we take that angle plus that angle plus that angle, adding those three must be equal to 180 degrees. So the lightning plus 50 plus 100 gives you 180. When you add these two up here, that gives you 150. So the lightning plus 150 equals 180. So the lightning must be 180 minus 150, so the lightning must be 30. Now you can pause that slide for as long as you want, or you can rerun it as often as you want, and I'm sure you'll understand that example 4. That's the most complex one we've done so far, but if you take your time and think about it, you'll definitely understand it. Example 5. We have the smiley face plus this angle here, which is what we call, that's a right angle. Okay, see that there? Right angle means it's 90 degrees. Okay? Now remember in the previous video we called it a square angle, so it doesn't matter what you call it, you can call it right angle or square angle. And it's important that when you see that sign, that means that it's 90 degrees. Although you don't have a number here, that means it's 90, and that's 45. So the smiley face plus the 90 plus the 45 must be 180. When you add the 90 and the 45 together, that gives you 135. So the smiley face plus 135 gives you 180. So the smiley face must be 180 minus 135. So the smiley face is 45 degrees. Example 6 is a very, very interesting one. I wonder if you can work out what this means when you've got those 3 stars there. What do you think that means with respect to the size of each angle? The size of each angle. Well, can you see that each of those angles is a star? That's the same symbol, isn't it? I think that means that each of those angles are the same. Therefore, star plus star plus star equals 180. So, 180 degrees needs to be shared into 3 equal parts. See? Because each of these parts are equal because it's the same symbol. And when you add those 3 numbers together, you get 180. Hence, one part is 180 degrees shared 3 ways. When you have that division sign there, that's the same as sharing. So imagine if you had 180 lollies or $180. In this case we have 180 degrees and we want to share it 3 ways, equally. Each of those stars equals 60. Why? Because 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180. Excuse me. So that is the size of the star. They are 60 degrees each. So there's a little bit of extension work for you with angles, and you will do a lot more of this as you move through primary school and into secondary school.